Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing? So today I'm gonna try to make this quick, right? What I wanted to talk about today is complaining, right? Complaining is a smack in the face if you believe in God. And I say that because, when you complain, it's like telling God, listen, you know what I'm saying? You can't do something for me. Now, there's a difference between complaining and crying. Crying is, you're crying out for help. You know what I'm saying? Like you have reached your breaking point. You are crying out for help. But complaining is something totally different. I'll give you an example. Today is my son's 17th birthday, right? And all my kids, they understand that if there's a problem, I'm going to do my best to fix the situation, or we're going to attack the situation and come to some resolution, right? Now, it is a disservice to me if one of my kids had a situation and they were complaining to me as if I never have come through. Right? Like, that's a smack in the face, right? Because I've always come through in some shape or form. So if you are now facing something and you're looking at me and you're complaining like, oh my God, and this, that, and other, that's a smack in the face, because I'm going to look at you and be like, when have I ever let you down? Even if you didn't understand, you know what I'm saying, the resolution to everything, how have I ever let you down? And it's the same thing with God. If you have found yourself in situations, right, and a lot of times you are in that situation because you placed yourself in a situation. I call this having a problem for every solution, right? We all know those type of people, right? They are in a situation because they have put themselves in a situation. Then you're trying to help them out of the situation by giving them, okay, listen, all you got to do is X, Y, and Z. And for everything that you say, they have a problem with that. So then it comes to the point to where you just like, well, what you call me for? What you asked me for? Like, what did you come to me for if everything that I'm telling you, there's a problem with it? Right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense, right? That's complaining. But when you're complaining, it is like basically telling God, like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing what you're supposed to do. It's basically that simple. We all have people that will find a complaint in everything. They've been praying for a job, they get the job, now they talking about the hours of the job. They've been praying for this level of success, but now they are complaining about everything that comes with that level of success. And those type of people are tiring. And you find yourself in a situation that they start putting that stuff onto you. See, if you want a better life, you have to watch what you say. Anytime my kids come to me and they tell me something, I first correct the language. Oh man, no, stop right there, because you have already defeated, you know what I'm saying, any chance of getting out that situation by what you speak. There's power in the tongue. I say this all the time. I was brought up on that notation, right? That's why even when you're feeling sick, I woke up this morning, wasn't feeling the best, but I refused to say, okay, man, I'm feeling sick or this, that, and other. I refuse to say it because there is power in the tongue. And you have to really, really live life like that. So if you're the type of person that's always complaining, right, that becomes your life. And people think that having materialistic stuff or this, that, and other is going to change that complaint. It's not. It has to start from within. You can look right now on your timeline or your friends or this, that, and the other, and you can pinpoint that person that always has a complaint. In the wintertime, they couldn't wait till the snow melted. In the summertime, it's too hot. There's never an in-between, right? Never an in-between, right? Oh my gosh, the grass is looking brown, this, that, and the other. We need some rain. Then the rain, it was raining too much. You know what I'm saying? I think Saturday Night Live had a sketch that was talking about the Debbie Downer. That is real. And that stuff is contagious. If you are around a person that long, or if you allow that in your space, you will mess around and it will become your thoughts and patterns. You ever been around a defeated mindset? That stuff is draining. That stuff is draining. All day, everything. Oh man, woe is me. Like Eeyore. These are real life situations that you will find yourself in, and you will mess around and either block your blessings or you will delay your blessings. I'm a firm believer. I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning, right? And when you're constantly learning, I'm open. There's so many people that are so closed off because they think they know everything. And what's even worse than that is not even thinking that you know everything, thinking that you can look at a person and dictate if what they say is valuable. I have conversations all the time with people, right? I can be somewhere, I don't know. Maybe it's my face, right? But I would be somewhere and somebody will start talking to me, right? And then I might be having one of them days that I just don't feel like talking. But somebody will start talking to me and I'll always be like, I'll just engage, right? Like I'll just engage. And a lot of times I walk away from those encounters learning something. It might not have to be nothing drastic. It might be something, learning something about myself. And I walk away and I'm like, I'm glad I had that conversation. And my son, that's turning 17 today, he was telling me, right? Like I was picking him up from work. And that's a blessing too. He's always wanted to work. These kids nowadays, oof. But I was picking him up from work yesterday. And he was telling me there's an old lady that comes to, his job, I guess every day. And he was telling me, he was just like, I think she's, just alone because she'd be up here all of these hours. So I said, oh, really? And he was just like, yeah. So, I talk to her all the time. And he said, she told me she wants to come to my graduation. So at first I'm looking, right? I'm like, what? And then he was just like, yeah. So, I just talk to her every day because I feel like she's lonely. At first, my first instinct was, don't you be talking to, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my first instinct. And I'm not saying that you should let your kids talk to, strangers, whatever, but he's at work. And she just comes in, and I seen her, right? And so he began to tell me her story. Like, she used to be in the military and her husband had passed and this, that, and the other, right? And in that moment, I really thought, and I was like, you know what? I could have crushed maybe what God is calling him to be by telling him, you don't be talking to people, crazy and this, that, and the other, right? But it was in his heart that he has a heart to sit there and listen. And then I began to think like, what if that was her only conversations every day? She comes to that McDonald's every day, right? And I began to think, right, like, she's, in her 70s. But what if that's her only conversation? So he is her lighthouse and she looks for him every time he goes to work. And life is that simple sometimes. You being the best person that you can be, and you pass it along. So to summarize all of this stuff, when you complain, it is a disservice to the God you serve. It is a disservice because complaining means that you're in a situation and there's no way out and this, that, and the other, right? That's what you're saying when you complain. And a lot of times you're complaining is because you have talked yourself into that situation. You can't sit back here and blame everybody and your upbringing. You have placed yourself in that situation and you will continuously be in that situation until you change the way you think and what you speak.
Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.